Well, that's it. He did it. It's over. Broke him, broke his will. T-Street Controversy with Fight View 360, the new undisputed champion at 154 pounds. First ever undisputed four-belt champion. Get him on the pound-for-pound list, damn it. Top 5. Yo. Great fight. Charlo is the man. One of the most seasoned resumes between 140 and 160 pounds or so. T-Street Controversy with Fight View 360. You know, Browne Castano is good. He is good. High volume pressure fighter, but we talked about in the build-up is that who would be able to make the better adjustments, and it was Charlo, stay off the ropes. But you also know what I liked? Every time Castano would get off something, Charlo would always respond with something better, something more meaningful. And what did you see? Every time he would get him on the ropes, the rare times Charlo's back was on the ropes, Castano would throw a little flurry, maybe hit him with a nice little shot, overhand right, something like that. Charlo would respond. And in this case, he responded. There's Errol Spence, and he broke him down. And I was wondering because halfway through the fight was stopped in round number 10. Halfway through the fight, you know, Charlo was slowing down a little bit. I was wondering if he was going to be able to keep up that movement, and he did. He weighed in at what, 152 3/4, a little bit under 153. No, yeah, 153 and a half. As it stands right now, like he's good. Like dude is nice. What's going to be next? Will he fight his mandatories? Will he move up in weight? To go to 160. His brother's currently WBC champion at 160, but looks like, you know, Jermell wants to stay at 160. He's going to be fighting Soluski, and then they're supposed to be going after. Try to go after Golovkin if Canelo doesn't fight Golovkin. But basically, I'm really interested in what he's going to do and if he's going to stay in the division. We're going to talk about it all. Give him all his belts. Strap him up. Take a time out. Like the video. Subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at T-Street Controversy. The links to my social media are right down below in the description box. Derek James, already, in my opinion, trainer of the year with this win. Errol Spence comeback win over from injury over your Dennis Ugas. And if he ends up, let's see if we can get a look at this stoppage. And look, Charles, he hits you with something, body shot, broke him down. And then look, his body just crumbled. We're going to get you another replay. Let me turn it up.
Remember, in round 2 of the first fight, the left hook of Charlo is what hurt Castano. And he brought that back on him off balls for this later part of this fight. We'll take a look again at the left hook. A nice short left hook on the inside, Edgar.
Yeah, nice uppercut. But it was a
broke him down.
Left hook that got him right,
and he just like, it was a little bit of a delayed reaction.
You could see that it didn't have that much power.
I have to be careful because Showtime will take my video down. Did a little funny dance.
Charlo, you know, people say, well, he doesn't really, on the inside, how good a fighter is he?
That stiff right hook to the body, left hook.
The compact left hook, the fact that he got so much power behind it.
And then just broke down.
And that's the area where Custio wanted to be in this fight. On the
Broke
inside,
him.
exchanging punches, but it was
Very dangerous fighter, though, Castano. It's just that, you know, he has to give up so much to be able to get in on the inside, especially as a fighter, you know, listed as a 5'7", and then this is just a stoppage right there. Damn near ripped his head off. You know, the referee tried to give him as much chance, but then he just went ass up, face down. So, you know, that's never any good. But yo, solid. Listen, great win. Like, this is not no bullshit win. The bullshit around about. Like, he really got him up out of there. I'm happy for him. You know, and he's undisputed. Like, that means a lot. And he collected these belts. Remember after the Tony Harrison fight, you know, the first one where a lot of people felt, including myself, that he was on the end of a bad decision. But now, look, he made it. I can't wait to hear the post-fight interview and what he wants to do next. Look, got him out of there. But on my scorecard, I gave Charlo round 1, 2, 4, 7, 8, 9. Castano 3, 5, 6. And of course, you know, swing rounds in there. Round number 4, in my opinion, was definitely a swing round. I know who to give that to, but nonetheless, the right man won the fight, obviously, you know, by stoppage. Castano still going to be big, major fights out there for him. If Charlo, depending on how long he stays at 154, maybe, you know, he'll be able to work his way back up to a shot. I highly, you know, doubt it. That he'll be able to get Charlo again. But now it's mandatory time. Tim Zoo, WBO mandatory here. Let's listen to these punch stats, actually. Pause it if you have to.
He had been in the first fight, and it's ironic that 173 landed is the exact number that Castano landed against him, which was the most ever landed against Charlo. Here's another interesting point. Castano landed 194 punches. That exceeds the 173. So he's the man that twice has landed the most punches against Charlo. But in this case, of course, it wasn't enough for him to get the job done.
As entertaining as the first fight was, this one, that much more so. In this one, hey, no draws, no judges. A definitive end to this historic night. Let's make it official with Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 2 minutes 33 seconds in round number 10. He is the winner by way of knockout, and now the undisputed 154-pound champion of the world, Jermell Iron Man Charlo.
He did it. He made it.
Charlo celebrating with his family.
Let's listen to the post-fight interview and talk a little bit more.
We saw his wife, and what a night for Jermell Iron Man Charlo.
And you know, a word about Brian Castano real quickly. He fought his heart out tonight, had some good rounds in the middle of that fight. Just this man was too much for him.
And he is now tasted defeat for the first time. Does Brian Castano with Jermell Charlo joins this exclusive club, becoming the 7th male undisputed champion in boxing history in the four-belt era.
You peep how they don't show Tiafimo
Let's go to Jim.
because of the franchise championship.
Thank you very much. Jermell, congratulations. You're in that exclusive club, one of 7 men and the first at 154. Can you describe the emotion to have all 4 belts?
Hey, this is unbelievable. I did it for us, USA. I did it for us.
USA.
Shout out to Carson, California, LA, the whole surrounding areas. Appreciate y'all for coming out. Hey, Lions Only, we put on the show. I gave y'all 10 hard fight, 12 rounds, 10 to 12. But I gave it my all, and that was the end results to it.
This was quite a battle, and you guys have brought out the best in each other. Can you explain what it was like during this fight to be going through this?
Yeah, it was. I could consider this to be a little bit like nerve-wracking. You know, I felt like this was my first fight. You know, when you get nervous and you know you get the ants in your pants, and I just wanted to be in there. I knew Castano was gonna give it his all, and I knew I had trained very, very hard. Y'all can see I came in at 152 because I was really in shape, and I wanted to make sure this was my fight. But I'm just super excited for everything that me and my brother put on for Lions Only. The future is bright.
It sure is. How did you contain and control your emotions with the late arrival and the long delay?
Well, you know, I'm just getting there in the fight. You know, I don't care about being late. I don't care about who early. You know, I knew once I got to this arena and I'm fighting outside in this beautiful place, I have to get it on.
You've been great in rematches. What adjustment and changes did you have to make to be successful?
Well, I listened to my corner this time. I can say, I got in my bag around the 7th round. I started sitting down a little bit more instead of like boxing so much and moving around. I see that he was wearing down a little bit, and I was breaking him down. So the obvious came aware, and I stepped up.
It was basically an even fight until that 7th round, and then you took control in 7, 8, and 9, and then ending it in 10, which we'll look at in just a moment. But what changed the complexion of this?
I just started seeing my punches be more effective. I get stronger by the later rounds if they didn't know. And that's what happened.
All right, let's take a look at this knockdown here in the 10th round with this vicious left. Tell us from your vantage point, Jermell, what's happening?
He was up close and I tried to block it. I didn't. I threw a body shot and I threw a left hook. And that was all she wrote. Yeah.
Did you know it right then?
Well, once I seen him crumble right in front of me, I'm pretty sure he was going to get back
crumbled.
up because, you know, that was the first knockdown, but I knew it was over.
And now we jump to the end of the fight right here. You could sense it.
Yeah, the jab landed too well. The right hand came perfect, and I threw the uppercut. For sure, I remember.
You know, it takes...
Body shot.
This quite certainly is how, going forward, you will be defined, these two fights with Castano. It takes a great opponent to bring out the greatness in someone else. How will you view this going forward?
This is legacy, man. This is something that is legendary. I'm a legend. Thank God, this is a beautiful thing, and you know, they gonna keep putting them in there. When you at the top like this, you get a bunch of mandatories, you get a bunch of #1 guys, so you just gotta prepare and be ready for it at all times.
I've never seen you.
So it sounds like he's going to stay.
This is your highest peak. Can you explain why?
I mean, life is beautiful for me. It's amazing. I work really hard, and I you know, see the fruits of my labor soaring between me. I got my young kids. Shout out to Al Haney for all the opportunities he gave me. You know, shout out to, you know, my mom and my dad for raising such a decent young man. And
Make sure you thank Al Heyman first.
to the WBC for being the first belt that I got. And I ain't done, dog. I might move up to 60 and see if I can do it again.
Congratulations. Terrific fight. It was an honor to cover this.
Thank you. And if it wasn't for God, you know, I put God first in my life. So, and then that was one of the biggest things that I've accomplished this time. Thank you, Reeves.
You have something to say?
Lo que queda, todo lo que queda previo, todo queda afuera. Arriba somos dos guerreros y queremos tener nuestra plata para alimentar a nuestra familia.
Everything that was said outside, it's all bull. Everything that happened here, we showed the Warriors tonight, and that's the main thing. We got to feed our families.
How would you describe this fight?
¿Cómo tú describes esta pelea?
Una pelea increíble, de poder a poder, realmente estaba para volver a los dos, pero bueno, se dio así, tuvo una suerte de conectar las manos y ganamos knockout, pero bueno, el primer nivel es así.
Yeah, no, that's what the fight is. We both were fighting, you know, back and forth. There was power back and forth, and then his right hand came over and won the fight via knockout. And he's a champion.
What was the difference in this fight from the first fight?
¿Cuál fue la diferencia de esta pelea y la primera?
Que me pescó.
That he hit me. He got me.
Sí. Sí. No, muy bueno. La verdad que
Are you okay?
sí,
¿Está bien? ¿Está bien?
Sí,
Después del golpe.
Sí, gracias a Dios me recuperé rápido, pero acá estamos.
You're a champion, baby.
Thank you so
You're a
much.
real champion, though. You understand?
Pressure.
You represent Argentina well. You represent Argentina well. Yeah.
You represented boxing well. Thank you. Final thought. What are you going to do with all these belts now?
Could be fighter of the year. We went back and forth. He landed some good shots, and it just let y'all know boxing is real. Let's get it. Lines only.
And you'll take some time to evaluate what you'd like to do next?
Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do next. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you both.
Well, let's talk about what's logically possibly going to be next. Tim Tszyu was on a broadcast earlier, WBO, #1 contender, mandatory, but he's not first in line for the belt. Bakhram Murtazaliev has been fighting on Charlo undercards. The last time he fought, let me go pull him up real quick, was on the undercard of Tszyu versus Goucher, right, in the dark match, or when was this? Well, anyway, he is the IBF mandatory. He is the #1. He is the next in line as far as the way things break down with all the titles. 20-0 with 15 KOs. He's been fighting in about 3 or so dark matches they are untelevised fights and being paid step-aside money to allow for Charlo and Castano to happen twice. And there's been 3 step-aside agreements overall, I believe. Now, next in line is Tim Tszyu, who was awarded WBO mandatory status sometime around mid to late last year. I forgot the exact time. You can look it up yourself. Tszyu, Kurbanov, WBO mandatory. I'm sure you can find some articles. I got the news from the WBO website itself, one of their press releases. Then next in line. By the way, here were the judges' scorecards. Then next in line is Sebastian Fundora, who's not listed right here, but we're going to get him up here. He's the WBC interim champion. Then the winner of Israel Madrimov versus Michel Soro. Here is Steve Farhood's card, if you want to know what the unofficial scorecard is. So no, Tim Tszyu is not next, and he's saying he's been mandatory for 2 years. Where's that coming from? Like, we are media, we know this type of shit, you know. So he was ranked number 1 for 2 years, but he hasn't been mandatory for 2 years. He was just made mandatory about, as I said, you know, no more than 6 to 8 months or so ago. Now, as it stands right now, once again, it's going to be Murtazaliev next. If Charlo decides to stay at 154 pounds, there are no other fights he can legally take unless he fights Murtazaliev. The IBF is going to order that. Then Tim Tszyu. You see what I'm saying? But we're going to see, because right now, 154 is going to get really crowded in the next year and a half or so. If Charlo goes on, I mean, if the winner of Spence Crawford goes on to go to 154. Boots Ennis wants to collect the belt at 147 before moving to 154. And Charlo right now, if he was to move to 160, his brother's WBC champion at 160. Golovkin has the other 2 belts at 160 pounds, likely to fight Canelo at 168 in September or October of this year. But I guess what I'm saying is there's no real money at 160 right now. The big fights for Jermell would be at 154. But he would have a slew of mandatories he would have to all get through before those other guys we're talking about, like, you know. And remember, him and Errol Spence are trained by Derek James, same trainer. So, you know, really highly unlikely that fight happens. But the Terrence Crawford fight can happen. You see what I'm saying? But in the meantime, you know, Murtazaliev, you know, maybe they can do it as a homecoming, get that out of the way. But anyway, take a time out, like the video on T Street Controversy with Fight View 360. Boots Ennis got the second round knockout stoppage over Custio Clayton. Right now, we have this Triller card going on right here I'm watching. I'm actually going to take a little nap on the couch. I've been covering boxing all day. Didn't get up and cover this card. The rest of it, like this is live right now. Hold on, let me show you. It's 21 seconds, but this is live right now. Going on also over in California. But anyway, thanks for watching on T Street Controversy with Fight View 360 and the WBC channel, powered by the Vive Network. Links down below in the description box for Roku, Android, Apple. See you guys later on. Thanks for watching.